All right, so today we're going to do another deep dive with the goal being cards that hopefully will increase over the next 12 months, as well as cards that I think have good, even longer term potential. The deep dive will include why, pointing out a couple things like their gem rate, their population, their set, as well as some other examples of cards from the same era and the same set that have already risen significantly. My view here is to try to get in early. You might never catch the bottom, but try to get in at the bottom-ish instead of catching the top and buying at the peak. So that's what we're trying to do here. And this focus will be on sets from 2023. So here we go. Starting off, the Lapras. I love this card from Crown Zenith. I just think the artwork is amazing. You got multiple Pokemon in the background. Anyone who's played the new game on the Switch, Pokopia, knows about Lapras. So when you look at this card, first of all, gem rate, which means the percentage that is getting a PSA 10 is under 30. At the time of this video, it's only a $180 card, so it's not at its all-time high. That's another thing I like. So low gem rate, not an all-time high. It's an original 151 Pokemon, and the art is beautiful. So I like it. I like an entry point here. Crown Zenith being out of print now, 2023. Every year, there's less and less sealed product out there, less and less population. So there's going to be a few cards from Crown Zenith. In fact, we're going to do the first and last card, will for sure. Look at this Glaceon. So cool. Love this art. It's simplistic, but I like the color scheme. It's another Crown Zenith card. Look at the difference, though, in the gem rate between the yellow borders and the non. 57% PSA 10, so that's why I like looking at that Lapras. Much harder to get a 10 and much lower pop. But Glaceon 163, its PSA 10 peak was 200, so once again, we're not at that bottom. This is the perfect time to buy, right, at these accumulation points. So I'm a little late to the party here, but want to get this card. I think it's amazing, and at 160 bucks, it's a great buy. Okay, here's an example of missing the boat, right? Look at this graph on this Mew. It is literally at the peak, all-time high. Once again, yellow border, so the gem rate, 30%. PSA 10 around 700. It's Mew and Friends. Got a lot going on here. A lot of different characters. It's cute, it's cool, it's Mew, it's Crown Zenith, but we're late to the boat, so when would have been the time to buy? Right during this. The patterns are there, we just need to look for them. Alright, why not? Another Crown Zenith, another yellow border, and another theme. Pikachu themed, right? It is a very cool, like, look at these modern houses. It's like a Deku Leaf floating thing, very cute. Yellow border, it's Pikachu. Always a good investment, but once again, look, missed the boat. Here's your time you should have bought. We are late to the party. It's now over $500 card. Population is crazy low though, under 4,000. So I have one of these in the PC. I wish I had 10. Okay, look at this. So we're done with Crown Zenith for now. We're on to Scarlet and Violet base set. It is 2023. You're gonna see the same themes, cool art. Original 151 Pokemon. This Slowpoke card is so cool. Why is it so darn valuable? You'll see in a second here. Look at that gem rate, 11%. That's abysmal, that's horrendous. Sub 1,000 population for Slowpoke, who is, you know, a fairly popular derpy Pokemon. But, you know, this is a little different, right? We're at an all-time high, but is it gonna keep going? Here's some nice consolidation. I wish I'd picked up a card there. I didn't, but I do think this Slowpoke has potential. This could even end up being the chase card from Scarlet and Violet base, and this could really break out being such a low population and such a low gem rate. Okay, speaking of low gem rate, Obsidian Flames. This set is known for having a low gem rate. When we look at this graph here, look at this, boom, big cup, right back to all-time high. So I'm more comfortable buying at this price because unlike the Pikachu, which is like way up here, you're just back to the beginning. This would have been the time to buy, but gem rate of 22%, population 4,600. It's a Ninetales. It's an original 151. It has the amazing art. It has low gem rate. It's checking the boxes. Beautiful card. 41 raw. PSA 10 is peaked at about 350. Wow. Speaking of beautiful cards, look at this art. I think I have 7 of these. It's crazy. I love this card. I just was buying a bunch right back here when it was crazy cheap. Now it's up to 450. Let's keep going. Look at that population, 3,000. That's crazy to me. And then 22.5. I just think this is one of the cooler arts out there. This card is, you see a lot of print lines on it, which is part of the reason that gem rate is so bad, but I love this card. I love this art. It's Cleffa. It's not quite an original 151, but it's a evolution, so we'll give it that, checking that box. It also it does not check the good time to buy though. Some of these runaway trains, they just keep going up, but when you see 2 big cups like this, I really like to buy at the base, not up here at the tip. So let's see what's next. Cool, sticking with the same theme, Obsidian Flames, cool art, original 151, psychedelic gloom. There's a hidden Pokemon here, right? Check out Weedle, double Weedle action. I like the psychedelic art. I think it's cool. It just pops to me. I think it's a great binder card for like a fun, vibrant binder page, but also looking at it from a collecting standpoint, at the time of this video, it was only $250. This is another low, crappy gem rate, 20%, population 2,000. 250, it peaked up at about 340. This is a good time to buy this card. It's not a great time, the perfect time, but it's a good time when we have not even retraced the original peak, so I'm a fan. I might even pick up a Gloom after this. Alright, I had to throw this one in there because Obsidian Flames chase card is the Charizard. This kind of like stained glass look, this Terra style. I think it looks sick. I know it gets a lot of hate for being boring and just a mirror and repetitive, but I think it is super cool. I love this card. Look at this here. If you go back and look at a lot of these chase cards, we'll compare it to the 151 Charizard in a second. One thing I like about this is it's barely retraced. It is barely past its all-time high. Once again, beating a dead horse here. Perfect time to buy. When you see this consolidation, the moment that slope goes vertical, it's like, here we go. And it has kind of peaked a little bit. So why do I love this from a collecting investing standpoint? 1, it's Charizard. 2, it's a gem rate of 23. That's pretty low for a chase card. And then 3, it's just barely retraced back to the November highs. So I think it's a good entry point. And I love the art, obviously. Okay, we had to do a little bit of 151. So I want to start with this quote-unquote Zapdos, which is really the all 3 legendary birds card. First of all, it's an SIR. People forget that this is an SIR. Everyone talks about the big 9 cards, where the original 9 from the first 3 evolutions. But this is an SIR, so is the Alakazam. I love this card. First of all, it's badass. Look at that, you got the 3 birds featuring Zapdos. Look at how this is, if you look at stock TA, right, this is just your classic cup and handle. So some people would say wait a little bit more, some people say it's a good entry point. As always, this was the great entry point, but we're floating around a $460 card. And I bring it up because look now at the Charizard. Very similar chart, right? Let's look. Cup, peak, cup, handle, zoom. Now let's go to the Zapdos. Cup, peak, cup, handle, no zoom yet, but it shows you this is very close to the all-time high. Charizard, though, was a significant jump. Like, this doesn't look like much, but this was like 1,000, and now we're up to 1,800, so the Charizard has ran significantly, and the Zapdos has not. That's the point I'm trying to make. They both ran, but in relative terms, the Charizard ran so much more. So I'm liking not buying the Charizard right now. I'm liking buying the Zapdos. And in fact, you can pick up about 5 of them for the price of a Zardy Boy. So Look at that that gem rate, 28. What is the Zapdos? 29. So a lot of pop, but it doesn't matter. It's just an amazing card. I'm still throwing it on here, mostly for comparative sake, but just to see. Look at that. It met at resistance right here at like 1500, and it just kept going. So Charizards are always winners. Okay, here's the other SIR that I wanted to include. First of all, look at this price, $350. Wow, criminally underrated. 30% gem. Same thing, much closer to the Zapdos chart. In fact, even less gains. So it went to its all-time high and returned there after consolidation, but it did not surpass it. Like, look at the Zard, way surpassed it, and then even look at the Zapdos, surpassed it. So out of those 3 SIRs, this is the one that hasn't. And yeah, it only has Alakazam here, but it's so cool. Like, look at all the detail, all the stuff going on. Of course, the classic Alakazam spoon action. But I like it. I think I would rather be buying Alakazams and Zapdoses than Charizards right now. Okay, let's add in one more, just for another comparison's sake of what when it's not the best time to buy. So the Psyduck, all-time high, boom, just zoomed past it, right? Much closer to the Charizard-like pattern. One thing about this, 31%, 5,000 pop. It's a great art, though. Look at that. So relatable. I've felt this many times before. But it's an awesome art. It's Psyduck. And it's look at these, just keeps going. 151 is such a banger. But once again, is this a bad time to enter? It might be. It's an all-time high. Ooh, okay. So here's where we start to get a little bit out from the norm. I think this is an amazing card. I'm collecting the crap out of this card. And when you look at it from like an analysis or technical standpoint, look at this. It is nowhere near its all-time high. It's 160 out of 230. So, you know, it's a trainer card. It doesn't get much love, but with all the Team Rocket sets, with Giovanni being the lead boss, with the sleepy Master Ball in the background, the Pokeball, the Team Rocket, all these other things, the Persian, like a casual like penthouse suite in Pallet Town. But I think it's another even more criminally underrated, because look at this. For an SIR with a pop under 3,000, with all of that action, it's not just like a boring trainer card. And from 151, 27% gem. I think I literally have 10 of these. Why? Because I was buying them at $80 a pop. It was in this huge consolidation phase down here, so. All right, Paradox Rift card. Why not? Let's get into it. Paradox Rift. This is not an original 151, but it is the evolved form of Onyx. So this Steelix, which you see featured on a lot of modern or worksite binder pages. It's super cool, right? Look at this guy. He's perfect for the job. He's happy to help. Nowhere near all-time high. We're at 160 versus 210. So it's starting to get a little traction. You know, Paradise Rift's another 2023 set. Look at that gem rate though, 42. So this is where you start to notice these percentages can get substantial. Low pop though, 2,500. So I wanted to throw a Paradox Rift card in here. This is something I'd target. Yeah, you're like, what is it gonna get up to? I don't know, it could flash forward a couple bits, and it could be a $400 card in a couple of years. So you'd always take a double up. The Groudon, it's another one I wanted to show because of relative to a chase card of a set. Is it original 151? No, but it's Groudon, and it's a badass art, right? You have the water meeting the molten lava. It has not even reached its all-time high. This is crazy to me. I know the set doesn't get much love, but for a card that's 35% gem with, 5.6 thousand here, PSA 10s, it's sitting at a 530. So if you're looking at, hey, what are some of these chase cards that are gonna hit $1,000 next? I wouldn't be surprised. It takes time, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if it gets there. Okay, I wanted to throw a couple promo cards in. Super unique art. Don't even want to try to describe it, but it's super cool. Love the Ninja Spinner. Chaos Rising set coming out, so thinking ahead, knew the set was rumored, wanted to get some Greninja cards. This checks a few of the different boxes. It checks the promo box, it checks the upcoming set, it checks the art, and then when you look down here, ooh, it does not check either of these boxes, high gem and high pop, but it does check it has not came back to the all-time high. This is very linear too. This is just growing up and to the right, similar to this. So I like this promo. I like it for the upcoming set. I think it's going to keep ripping. This guy's sweet. I wanted to include all the promos from the Mew UPC. Mew Ultra Premium Collection, as a reminder, is a sealed product somewhere over $900 now that has a couple really cool promos, a gold Mew, this, and the pink Mew out over the city. But here's this kind of Batman style looking over the Dark Knight, Mewtwo on the perch, hovering. It is hard to grade promo cards. Remember that, say it with me. It is hard to grade promo cards. 21% gem rate. Pop is pretty high, right? 7,000, but that gem rate is stinky. So other cards to grade, it's gonna be tough. Nice linear growth. We've retraced to all-time high. This will keep going. You know, cards like this will do well. Fast forward to the end of 2027, I wouldn't be surprised if it's up near 1,000. Okay, and then Crown Zenith, because I said we'd finish with one more Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith as a whole, I like, but I really like entering at points like this. I did with some of these. This is still not near all-time high, but when you think about Crown Zenith, you have the legendary dogs, you have the Glaceon, Leafeon card, you have the Mews, you have the Pikachus, you have the gold ones, and they all kind of rise and fall at different rates. So when you're looking at Crown Zenith, just pick out your favorite ones and try to get it at a good time. Don't fall on the sword at the top here. But look at that gem rate, 57%, that's nuts, so high. High pop, high gem, but it's a sweet card, it's getting older, and it's not near its all-time high. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the 2023 deep dive. As always, I try to pick cards that I'm hoping will do well in the future, but also that you're entering at a good point. I always like to remind you guys what I'm looking for in certain cards, and then the main themes usually are cool art, popular Pokemon, original 151, low gem, low pop, and entering at a position with a card at a good time. So we'll probably do 2024 cards next. If you have any other requests, let us know, and we hope you enjoyed our video.